Get your favorite snacks together, your tiny cut-up peanut butter sandwiches without the crust, your bags of goldfish, because it's hard not to eat all of them, so you don't bring the whole container. Get your travel buddy, the one who can do the directions, pick the good road trip playlist, and finally, turn on your car, because today you get to join us on our second part of our cryptid road trip as we traverse the Pacific Northwest.
I didn't see you there.
It all started early this morning.
From hunting ghosts to Bigfoot, UFOs, cryptids, true crime, paranormal, and more.
I've always wanted to see a UFO.
Oh, I was researching for your entertainment.
That's Bigfoot's cat.
He basically wrote the book on modern cult.
We aren't really comedians.
What if Buddha did cocaine?
The Addams Family on meth. This is the Black Cat Report.
See you on the other side.
Woo! Mm-hmm. And I just imagine in my head the intro to the boom, boom, boom. What if Buddha did cocaine?
Turn around.
Yep, that's actually in
there.
Well, hello and welcome to the Black Cat Report and episode 123. I am Joey, and with me is the beer swilling, high stepping, sign stealing, mic dropping, 80s heart robbing Gil.
Hello, everyone. I would like to make a quick note here. I paid the ticket for those signs that I stole, so I am completely in the clear. Some might say exonerated, but yeah, no. So it's not hanging over my head anymore. Well, the sign is. I have it on the ceiling, but yeah.
Well, as Gil was looking at the sign that said "Stop," he decided, you know what? I like Monopoly better.
It is hammer time.
Time to take the sign. Well, today we're going to take a nice little drive through the Pacific Northwest, like we said earlier, searching for some cool-ass cryptids. Right, Gil?
Yes.
Cool. And as you know from episode 99, the first edition of our Cryptid Road Trip, we like to take a nice long drive through the U.S. and visit in on some favorite regional cryptids. Well, before we hop into our episode, we want to take a moment and ask that you give our Patreon a follow if you haven't already. It's free, comes with some awesome perks, even on the free tier. You can get Cup of Joey, Midnight Mass, and there's a shit ton more that we pretty much deliver straight to the Patreon. We give most of our updates to the Patreon. We just like to talk to the Patreon. It's a separate person, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a little bit like the Borg. I'm pretty sure most folks that listen to our show are Trekkies, but yeah. So at a certain point, you just kind of assimilate, into the Patreon.
Yeah. They pretty much, as soon as you subscribe, it says collect us. I believe is the Borg's saying, collect us, like Pokemon. Yeah. I believe the Borg and Pokemon had a crossover event one time, and it was gotta catch them all, and they did. Well,
Joey, that joke was terrible.
As I'm glossing over it, for those of you that already follow us, we want to thank you all for following us. And obviously you're watching us tonight. For the most part, you probably are on our Patreon, so you get all this live stuff that we do. You probably get the terrible jokes that I make, and sometimes the way that Gil tells me also my jokes are terrible. So this is what we do. It's what we do in person too, so it kind of makes sense. Yep. But we want to hop or drive right into it. So let's go. Our first stop of our cryptid road trip is the state of Washington. And well, mostly known for the hairy big ape-like creature roaming around the hills and caves, the tall evergreen trees. We aren't going to visit Bigfoot. He's just...
Yeah, this has nothing to do with Snatch Twat. Nothing to do with Snatch Twat tonight. No. So, sorry, Dwayne.
Sorry. I mean, everybody does episodes about him. We've done interviews about him, and it's just... He's great. Bigfoot is amazing, but... we got to do some other people. And this one is an awesome one. We'll be going more on an aquatic adventure today, at least for Washington. Our first cryptid is the Lake Chelan Dragon. And the Lake Chelan, Chelan Dragon.
like
I
Chelan.
I like Chelan.
Chilling
Yeah,
like a
because he's
felon.
just chilling. Yeah, chilling like a dragon. Well, this cryptid has been rumored about for over 200 years, and actually, in some mythological folklore, it's also been done for maybe like 500-600 years. But for our purpose, 200 years. With a few sightings happening in the 1800s that led to the rumor growing of the dragon living below the surface. The Lake Chelan Dragon has a pretty mythological beginning. The dragon's origin supposedly was in the 1800s. It was brought over from Fort Augustus, Scotland, when the captain of the ship, Captain Chelan, who also apparently the lake is named for, took a treasure chest from the fort where Captain Chelan's father served. Well, before I go into that, I did also learn some interesting stuff, is that there was a Native American tribe called the Chelans that were in that area. I don't think that's how you say that part. But they were also part of why the lake was named Wireless Lake. It was them and the captain that was going to there. So it was like a mixture. Well,
I mean, honestly, everybody got there and they were just chilling.
Chilling like a dragon. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a new thing, because dragons, honestly, when they're not murdering, they're pretty chill. They're just chill.
Yeah. They're not always they're not standing on business, they're sleeping on it. Because every time you see them, they're just sleeping on top of a bunch of gold and jewels.
Until you take those jewels.
I respect it. I respect it.
For sure.
I'm a fan.
Well, lustfully and greedily, Chelan hoped and figured that the chest was full of riches of gold and jewels, as you would normally think that a chest that you took from a Scottish
question.
Mm-hmm.
He took it all the way from Scotland to the Pacific Northwest and never looked inside until he got out to this isolated lake.
Correct.
All right. Well, this tracks. This makes sense. I'm here for it.
Yes. So, as I was saying, you would normally think the chest was full of gold. So obviously he didn't look in it. And the chest was actually guarded by a lot of soldiers while he was in the castle, because his dad was like, no one should steal this. This is a chest. It's sacred and blah, blah, blah. But I actually like to imagine...
last shipment of new ports to Scotland. We got to protect these boys.
Got to protect. These are like gold where we're from.
Man.
Scotland. Scotland is where we're from. Well, I like to imagine the chest being surrounded by 30 or 40 soldiers, just literally all facing away from the chest. And just the Captain Chelan was just walked in and grabbed the chest, looked around. Yeah. And they're really not going to do anything. He just walked out, and the soldiers were like, well, they told us to form a circle around the treasure and guard it. And he's like,
But honestly, boys, we've spent so much time together these past few days, I realize the real treasure is friendship. Let's bring it in for a hug, everyone.
Yeah, they brought it in for a hug, and the captain just murdered them, hung them all. You didn't do your duty.
Killed them all.
Yeah. Well, after the chest was taken, Captain Chelan took it on a nice long sea journey, just like you're talking about, to the New World. For some freaking reason, he just is like, I'm not going to look in it, because it's got to be filled with treasure, right? That's exactly what it's been guarding for. Throughout the long journey, I'm sure the captain met his share of storms and challenges. Scurvy, dysentery, when all the seamen get together on top of the ship and just completely roast the captain. That's what I think of a dysentery. Or probably some typhus, and maybe some storms. Who knows, Well, on the coast of Washington, presumably to what was very close to their destination, they met the most violent storm yet. And this was in the year 1812. Another big event in U.S. history happened in 1812. So to make this story a little, how can I say, unbelievable, somehow during the storm, the ship was transported to what we now call Lake Chelan, which, to be fair, has no visible outlets or inlets to the Pacific Ocean. So somehow it jumped some land, a good bit of land, because Lake Chelan's pretty far inland, and landed on Lake Chelan.
I mean, maybe it was just like one of those Asheville storms that come through that just kind of...
Could have been
plausible.
Yeah, just it just roamed over the land, and they were just surfing into Lake Chelan. Could be
just chilling all the way in.
Mm-hmm. Well, as the storm was hitting them, it was tossing the ship violently, throwing back and forth, almost losing all of its cargo and the people that were on board. The chest itself that the captain had risked so much for was thrown overboard. So the captain jumped overboard to grab the chest. But he could not, however, keep the chest from sinking, no matter how hard he tried. And slowly, he sank down to the depths of the lake. Now, the lake itself reaches around 1,500 feet deep. So imagine the pressure he was under. Probably as much pressure as
15 inches.
No. He's just sitting on the top, like trying to. I can't do it. Can't even lift this thing.
Dear God. This is a godless land.
Yes. Well, there actually was 2 female stowaways that were on board this, and it was like, very at the right. They were actually the ones watching the chest, so they were like the guardians, the caretakers of the chest, which is weird that they have a chest that they're guarding, but it's fine. They were protecting the precious contents of the chest because it wasn't gold that was in the chest, but it was something else. The 2 women jumped into the water after the chest and after the captain. So one went after the captain, one went after the chest. As soon as they hit the water, they changed into mermaids.
Tracks?
Yeah. One grabbed the chest, the other grabbed the captain. The captain was somehow saved and taken to the shore of the lake safely. The chest, however, was grabbed by the other mermaid, then taken deep down into an underwater cavern where the contents of the chest were revealed. Inside the chest was a dragon egg, and it cracked open under the pressure and a hatchling emerged. Right? This is all tracking, I believe.
Hell yeah. All right. All right.
Yep.
It's a little dicey there at first, but this is getting good. I like this.
I feel like it's getting there, yeah.
The dragon said, and it was Herbert.
And it was Herbert the dragon, Herbert the dragon. The forefather of Herbert, actually.
What was in that chest next to him?
The dragon?
It was a count. It was a Count Saint Germain.
Yeah, it was Count Saint Germain. They both hatched out and were just like, ha-ha! This is not the right place. This is not the right place. Well, thus became the Lake Chelan Dragon right after the hatchling emerged. Now, I want to say, as unbelievable, or, in your opinion, as believable as that sounds,
I'm believing.
It does make a good story because this has been passed down again for over 200 years, maybe more. And the indigenous tribes of the area, which were probably the Chelan natives, a tribe that was split off from the Wenatchee tribe. From what I could figure, that tribe called the sea dragon, and I'm really, really, really sorry for the pronunciation of this because there is a lot of, there are basically just N and H and A's in this word, and it's Nahahahatuk. I think that's what it pronounces as. So apologize if you know how to pronounce that. NHAHHAHATQ. Please let me know. But I think it's Nahahatuk. It's very hard to pronounce. Well, the dragon itself.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah. The dragon itself was described as having the legs and body of an alligator, the head and eyes of a snake, a scaly tail, and bat wings. And, you kind of think of it, that sounds like a modern day dragon, right?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, at first I thought you were going to be like the head and the body of an alligator, the legs of an alligator, the stomach of an alligator.
And the head of Herbert. He's a bona fide sea serpent. Well, from all my mythical knowledge, not that I have known many dragons that live underwater, especially with the idea that they all breathe fire and such things. Honestly, I don't. The logistics on this are a little bit iffy, but it's a cryptid.
It's the physics that you get hung up on.
It's the physics. It's not the story. It's the physics of the body. Well, supposedly, The legend has it that the dragon was actually the offspring of the Loch Ness Monster, which is another, just throwing this out there for another one, because
Okay.
Nessie is considered a female. And for some reason
Mhm.
that I cannot find the exact reason, female Loch Ness Monster dragon things cannot fly. That's for there's no it's just one of those things that just gets thrown out there every time there's a story, and then they're like, well, they can't fly, and it's like, okay, and it's like the Lake Chelan Dragon is reportedly a male, so apparently it can fly. It's misogyny at its best, probably, from telling the stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Just
this would help it
distracts.
escape.
I mean, out there
Yeah.
chasing the ladies.
Yep. Well, this would help it escape with its victims. And that gets us to the couple of witnesses and experiences to this winged cryptid. The first written account of the Lake Chelan Dragon came from the Daily Pickaninny on December 2nd, 1892. On a day probably maybe weeks before the newspaper article came out, 3 men were bathing in the water together. The dragon suddenly burst forth from the depths and grabbed one of the men by the leg, dragging him away. The other 2 heard him scream, as you would because an animal grabbed your leg with super, super sharp teeth.
That'll do it.
Well, slowly, they were able to drag their friend back onto the beach from the water. However, the dragon maintained its grip on the man. The other 2 men thought of a genius idea. To slay the dragon, they start to attack it with knives, rocks, and sticks.
Just like our 8 fathers did before our forefathers.
Exactly. And, but if we think about it, dragons are impervious to most weapons unless it's their secret spot. Every story, a dragon has a secret, vulnerable spot that they can get hit and they can die. Apparently, this dragon did not have a secret spot. Well, they quickly surmised that ain't going to do it. They thought maybe fire would get rid of the dragon. As you do. But instead of killing the dragon...
Fire with fire.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
That's like, my house is on fire, so I'm going to throw more fire. And my house, I'm going to start burning candles in the house. That'll fight it. Yeah. But instead
I mean,
killing,
honestly, that's like a West Coast government tradition at this point.
100%. Don't use water.
Yeah, fuck that.
No. But instead of killing the dragon, it just flew up really quick and then disappeared right back down into the deep water with the man still in its teeth to rest at the bottom of the lake as dragon poop. The guy just never came back. This crazy tale, however, would not be the last sighting of the dragon. In 1945, a school bus full of children had a major accident, and this sounds really sad because the school bus flew over a railing into the depths of Lake Chelan.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. That part had nothing to do with the dragon. The dragon wasn't devious like that. The bus just went over the edge, and all the kids disappeared. So,
fucking Miss Frizzle just fucking. What was the name of the little lizard? What was the name of the little lizard that was with Miss We're gonna go find your mom or your dad.
Miss
Come
Frizzle.
on, kids.
Oh, God. And this time, they did not shrink down.
I thought they suspended your license.
This school bus wasn't so magic. So, well, days after the accident, divers were sent down into the lake to search for the bus and recover the bodies of the victims so the families can lay their children to rest, because a few children died in this. I think about 15, 20 children died. And
just
and
a few.
Driver. Yeah, just a few.
Yeah.
And the driver actually died too. Miss Frizzle actually died too. And so nobody escaped. The divers searched the lake's bottom for the bus, but as they were around about 200 feet from the recollection of one of the divers, a big and shadowy figure or creature was circling them, just watching and staying just out of sight. One of the divers, as they came back up, and pretty much they didn't even get down to the bus, he was so shaken from this experience that the diver is like, nah, fuck that. I'm never going back to diving again. let it go. And so this was attributed to the Lake Chelan Dragon because they said it was like enormous in size. It was moved super quick in the water, and they were just like, no, we're not going back down there. Screw that. So,
Damn.
yeah, I wouldn't go back in the water either because I'm already pretty scared of going down in the depths because you can't see anything.
How sure are we? And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but how
skeptic.
sure are we that he didn't just see the bus? Because it was a bus.
He said the guy said, I mean, you can never. It's 1945. It's hard to be sure about anything, and that's happening. But he said that it was moving around them. It wasn't like stationary. He said he saw the shadowy figure creature. What he said was moving around him and was like in circles, pretty much just out of their sight. And if you've ever dived, have you ever dove before? Gone like actually scuba diving or like scuba diving? It's weird. It's creepy. I did it when I was 17, 18. I got licensed to do scuba diving for a year, and my mom was, helping me do it. We went down in this quarry. Quarries are freaky because it's just like not really that natural of water. So it's like you're going down into this crazy water. And quarries a lot of times are known to house like some weird stuff because a lot of them have so many like inlets and outlets and caves and caverns down there just from water moving around.
And they're just a dumping ground for everybody for a long period
for a lot of deaths. So you go down there and like you'll see random stuff, but the visibility, there's barely any visibility. So if you're looking around, you can't see anything. So pretty much stuff is like maybe 5-10 feet away before you can like see it.
It's just all jump scares.
It is very much jump scares. And there's a lot of fish. I mean, in quarries, there's a lot of fish down there usually. And it's normal, but it also gets very, very, very cold. So not even maybe 15, 20 feet down you can go, and you're already freezing. You need the wetsuit pretty much to keep you warm. Or dry suit, sorry. You need the dry suit to keep you warm. But yeah, it's freaky. I don't do it because I was always really scared to go down that deep. When I had other people, like 6 or 7 other people, I was like, oh, this is fine. Like one of us dies, we all die. So it's fine. No big deal. Right. But, well, there are a lot of stories of ships being sunk, towns being destroyed, and things like that happen around Lake Chelan. I actually could not find any modern day examples of those. It's just one of those kind of like he said, she said kind of things, and like kind of lore of like the Lake Chelan Dragon is, there's a bunch of towns destroyed, maybe a ship or two being sunk. I'm like, those are not really ships in that lake, so it's not really that big of a lake. But is probably more like smaller, fishing boats in there, fishing canoes and stuff. But I did find a local Salish story, which was the local native tribe, one of the local native tribes around there, and it was told around fires and repeated over and over again. The Lake Chelan Dragon was a bad spirit, and this is what they said, that was in a fight with the forces of good. And their story, it presents the evil serpent, the Lake Chelan Sea Dragon. I like to call him Lake Chelan Sea Dragon because that's what he was, but just Lake Chelan Dragon, that would rise from the depths of the lake to destroy everything around it, eating and scaring away all of their food, fish and animals alike. To stop this from happening, the good spirits made like a rock dam on the mouth of the Chelan River. They did this thinking that it would trap the dragon and then drown it. But apparently those spirits didn't know that it was a lake sea dragon and it lives in the water, so it's not going to drown. The dragon seeing this, right? The dragon seeing this decided, nope, nobody is stopping me, and went crazy, destroying everything in and around the river, villages and villagers alike. Now, one of the reasons that this story was believed to have passed down was a young girl was out picking berries, and she was the sole survivor of the destruction. Gil, here's where we get to the sad part. Waters rose
she
from
was
the
the
dam.
Bus driver.
Yeah, she was the bus driver that lived later. Yeah, exactly. Well, sadly, the waters kept rising around her from the dam, and she could not escape. But before she had perished in the and the raging waters. She apparently had enough time to paint her whole life story and the trauma-inducing events right before her death, so that the legend of the sea dragon lived on in stories.
Have you ever just like I don't know, you get that anxiety about something that you like really have to do, like you really got to poop, but for whatever reason you're like, I have to file my taxes and fold my laundry before I poop. Like you just, you get all. That's just me. Anyways, I can relate to this. I would do this. I would start taking painting classes and be like, oh God, the water's rising. Quick, I gotta find a YouTube playlist. Oh, there's apparently a sale on LinkedIn for painting. I probably got time to order some shit on Amazon. Just gonna, just like the whole time, just building up around me. I'm like, well, no, I'm not gonna run out of materials for watercolors.
I thought for a second that was going a different way when you said when you were going to go to the bathroom and you were like, shit, I got to paint stuff, literally and figuratively. And you're like, I'm not running out of any paint right now. And then that is your life story.
I painted my pants.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And your life story was painted in the bathroom. Actually, you know what?
Honestly, on a couple of occasions, I've painted my life story, mostly after Taco Bell. But
yeah, a mix of Taco Bell, Chipotle, and Pizza Hut. I think
that'll do it.
I think I said something like that in the last cup of Joe. It had something to do with Taco Bell, Chipotle, and a mix, and some sort of joke. I don't know. I forget everything.
The Holy Trinity.
Yeah. Well, I do want to mention this because I have literally been chomping at the bit to find some seaworthy stuff. The lake also, and I have to mention this because it's me, they have a yearly Lake Chelan Pirate Festival. It returns every August. It has a whole market. No, it's in Seattle. I can't go to that. That's way too... It's in August, so it is plenty of time, but it's a long way to go for a pirate festival.
Is it, though? Is there even such thing as that?
No. Well, I could go to the Tampa one. I think that's July, right?
No.
That doesn't seem as fun because it feels like it's natural.
Gasparilla. No, I mean I helped open up a cafe like in Ybor, like where Gasparilla happens. It's if that's your scene, that's cool. It's not.
This one might be funner, more fun.
Yeah, I think a pirate festival based around a lake with a flying swimming dragon, way cooler.
Yeah.
Saying.
Well,
sounds more chillin'.
Does Gasparilla have a pirate carnival?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, well, I watched it a bunch of times.
A whole market, pirate carnival. Yeah, it's pretty much.
It's like a 6 block long Mardi Gras, or 4 or 5 block long Mardi Gras. It's very small.
Can you camp out there?
A lot of people do, but a lot of people do every night in Ybor City.
Okay. So
mostly just in the alleys and on the sidewalks around the bars. So yeah, you can. You totally can.
Not legally, I guess. I guess they just do it. I guess it's better than driving. And
there's no laws in Ybor.
Yeah, if it's a pirate festival, ain't no laws anyways. Well, you can camp at this one legally, and it's around the lake, and you can have fun. Yeah, and you can go to the markets. It's a pirate market. I hope to God it's only barter. It has to be only barter if it's a pirate market. Like they're just like, oh, I'll give you my leg for that sourdough. You know, it's like, no,
I couldn't take your wood. Like, no, the other one. Just start sawing it. Yeah. Oh my God! How could I turn that down? Such a good deal.
Yeah. Well, that'll fetch me a lot on the black market. Just tosses it in the lake, and the dragon just comes up. Perfect. Wow.
And it's appeased another year.
And it's appeased for that's why they have the festival. They toss in random body parts.
A lot of weird traditions around this town.
Yeah, it is a good one. Keep your diving.
I'm beginning to think that the catastrophes and the horrible situations that happened were Mostly due to people doing idiotic shit and had less to do with random events.
I think the 3 men that were there probably murdered the other man, and then
My gerbils got into my napalm collection. Everybody run!
yeah. I think the 3 men were murdered by one of the men murdered the other. Two of the
Wait,
men murdered the other man, and we're like, oh, a dragon got him.
Was it Gerbil Cherry or was it Gerbil Lucy? It was Gerbil Lucy. Why did you teach her to use a lighter? Yarr!
Yarr. We don't use lighters anymore for that reason. Mm-hmm. Well,
We don't
Gil.
train gerbils to use lighters anymore. Yeah.
No, we do not. Neither cats, because they are fire starters. Yeah. Well, Gil, I want you to keep your diving suit on.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Keep your sea legs attached, your river legs, whatever you want to call them. Are they attached?
Yep.
All right, we're going to take a tiny bit of driving. We're just going to drive, though. Keep your stuff on. We're going to drive for a little bit, not too long.
I'm doing more swimming than driving.
Okay, well, we're going to drive for a little bit to get to the next swimming hole, okay? We're going to drive down to Oregon because we're doing the Pacific Northwest. We're driving down to Oregon. We're in Washington. You drive straight down to Oregon. Mm-hmm. Done it many a times. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be our next stop on this road trip. We're going to drive our half amphibious, half land roving car down to the Columbia River in Central Oregon. Now, I think you should all know by now that I love alliterations in my cryptids, like Sinkhole Sam, Bermuda Bob, Cactus Cat, or Tahoe Tessie. And we might do Bermuda Bob in the future because Bermuda Bob is a pirate cryptid, which is, again, another one. But
Pirate cryptid?
It is a pirate-themed cryptid. It is very interesting because pirates used to see Bermuda Bob on the water, and it was on another ship. It's a whole lore. There is a whole pirate lore behind this that I don't even want to get into today. And I kind of knew you would ask.
This feels like
about
foreshadowing. Yeah.
But I didn't want to look into it because I was like, it's going to go way too far, and I need to write this episode. So Bermuda Bob.
It's going to be me. He's going to become your Kyuchi, your Saruko Kyuchi. You're just going to be like, it was just going to be one episode, but I'm going to need about 3 months now.
It's going to be 6 episodes for Bermuda Bob.
Fuck yes.
Yes, maybe. That'll be future because Bermuda Bob is interesting. But our second cryptid today, because I love alliterations, is called Colossal Claude. I love the name. It's one of my favorite names, actually, for a cryptid.
It's pretty great.
Mm-hmm. It also has a beer named after it by Rogue Ales. It's in Newport, Oregon. I mean, a lot of cryptids have beers named after them, but Rogue Ales made a cool, it's a American IPA, I think, so gotta love IPAs.
It's kind of like right-wing pundits, and they all have their own like nicotine pouches that they sell now.
Tactical baths.
What is up with that?
They have everything.
But, like every right-wing pundit is coming out with those little
designs.
What are they? Yeah, Zins or whatever. It's a thing.
Yeah, this cryptid, Colossal Claude, has been massively capitalized on because a crap ton of the websites I went to had pins, plushies, paintings, and everything else for sale to capitalize on CC. And who is there to represent Claude to make sure that he's getting his cut, huh? Nobody.
Who's there to represent? Poor old Claude. He needs a spokesperson. He needs a representative.
Mm-hmm.
He needs me.
Gil.
Which is why I've officially just become Colossal Claude's attorney.
Yes. You're also like his WWE manager too. So you like you're walking him down swimming him down the river. All right, Claude, you're going to your spokesman for this Rogue Ales today. What are you going to say? That's right. Nothing.
Can I take some home with me? Yes. And make sure to get the extra stout. Not like last time when you got that weak ass Pilsner. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I can't drink that.
I can't
How are you
drink
supposed
that.
to pay me? All this representation I give you, Claude.
Mm-hmm. I travel all the way up here from North Carolina just for this. Nope. Come on, CC. And I've shortened it to CC now. Colossal Claude. Anyways, Claude is said to roam the Columbus River and feed on the salmon swimming through the area. He actually was of no dangerous origin or had any violent run ins as the earlier sea dragon that we described. What I like to describe Colossal Claude as is just your cool and quiet neighbor that you wave to every once in a while and you see at the grocery store and you give, a nice nod before finishing your shopping. Claude isn't really interested in you, nor is Claude going to be violent. He just wants to live out his life. Right? That's kind of what I like to see Claude as. I do want to say, I feel like Claude is part of the Council of Cryptids. And I know that's the name of it. I feel like he's just kind of like an overseer of all the cryptids, And I don't
Kind
want
of
to say...
sounds like the capybara of cryptids.
Yeah.
He's just
there.
like unbothered,
Mhm.
chilling,
Yeah, pretty much. There is not really doing anything. And I don't like to think of the Council of Cryptids as like bad cryptids, right? Because it's really like you said earlier, and we are talking offline, there is no bad cryptids. The cryptids are just neutral, if anything.
I mean, it's just like, like no human is born racist, right? No cryptid is summoned evil. They just it's people that make them evil,
Yeah.
or random rock dams.
Yeah, that kind of did it. I feel like.
Turns out that he had spent like the past 40 years practicing meditation. That was his delicately manicured stone garden that they just completely fucking ruined. He's like, ah.
And that was the last straw that day. They had just canceled Friends, and he just is like, just the last episode, and he was like, I
just loading the gun. I can see that.
So no one told you life was
gonna end this way.
Well, speaking of the nonviolent life, the first recorded sighting of Colossal Claude was on March of 1934. The ship that sighted him was called the Viv, and it spotted an unknown creature. The Viv, Le Viv, spotted an unknown creature near the mouth of the Columbia River. And a few different journals of the day had different descriptions provided by the lightship tender Rose. So basically the person that's like up top with the light looking, being like, there goes some fish, basically. I don't know. I just made that up.
I don't know what the fuck they did.
Yeah, a light ship tender. I imagine that they just tend the light of the ship.
Mostly I'm the smelliest one here, and they put me up here.
They don't like me.
They don't like me.
Well, they describe Colossal Claude as a long body, at least 40 feet in length. Right? So that was the lightship tender. Captain J.F. Jensen and all the members of the crew, the other members, had seen the serpent and said the neck was about 8 feet long and had a large head accompanied by a huge mouth. So not super detailed, but it was given some length of the head. So this would not be the last sighting of the by a fishing boat in the area. In 1939, the crew of the Argo saw Claude coming up out of the water about 10 feet from the ship. This much closer look of Claude gave the crew a much better look at him. They described it as having a camel-like head with coarse gray fur, had glossy eyes, and a bent snout. Looks weird.
He sounds like a capybara.
Yeah, right? Yeah, the bent
He
snout.
literally sounds like a gray capybara.
Coarse gray fur. Yeah, the fur on the neck.
Yes.
Camel-like head. Yeah, definitely. Just a
capybara.
A seepybara, I guess, just a one in the ocean. Well, the Argo crew said that it basically came up out of the water, grabbed some fish, then just swam away, dipping back down into the water a little further away from the boat. So there is one weird thing that a couple in 1937 saw. So this is like 2 years earlier than that. They saw the creature come up out of the water, and this is all happening in the Columbia River. The couple were just chilling on the beach, having a nice beach and wine day near a place called Devil's Churn, which also sounds like what they were going to do after their beach day. The two of them,
there, churn, if you know what I mean.
Churning, yeah. Well, the two of them saw just offshore a huge.
You needed to make butter for the week.
The two of them saw just offshore a huge hairy thing, which is also what she said when they were churning butter, that looked again like an aquatic giraffe with a neck and maned head sticking up about 15 feet above the water. They said it looked like an aquatic giraffe, which is very interesting.
Just like, just when I'm starting to not feel insecure, nature's got to go out of its way.
She's like,
I'm not even in the mood. I'm
done. Well, they also said it was about 50 feet in overall length, which isn't too far away from the 40 feet the fisherman said it was. It's, it's kind of depends on how far away you see it. The length of wherever it is from you, from the sun, whatever you're seeing, right? Yeah. As it was sighted, the monster goes...
This effect.
Yeah.
The Coriolis effect, and honestly too, and you have the shift from the blue light to the red light depending on the seasons, like which solstice you're in too. That can completely change the reflections on the water when you get those leaves mixing in there, like a bunch of, is it red tea, is it black tea, is it a white tea, like what did the lake become? So many things could have happened. Anything but CC gaining a little bit of weight.
Exactly, because that wouldn't happen. We gotta stop fat shaming our cryptids. We can't be doing that anymore. Not us.
I would never in any way shame my client.
That is true. You are the one that is promoting them, so you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you kind of slipped this. You know what I think happened? Reason why I did this cryptid, I think you had send me just behind the scenes, you kept sending me, little hints. First you were just like, hey, can I get your CC number? And then I was like, no, I'm not giving you my credit card number. And you're like, oh, okay. And you're like, hey, I'm going to CC you on this email. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then slowly as you kept saying CC and, you would say Claude every once in a while and Colossal. I had no idea what you're talking about. And then I saw this and I was like,
not a clue.
Yeah. I was like, this is cool. What a great...
This whole podcast has actually been my indirect way of telling you that I am legal counsel for Colossal. It's true. This whole time.
So you were also legal counsel, not just managing.
I was kind of building up to it, but yeah, I mean, it's...
Oh, okay. You're just slowly
it's a complicated relationship with a cryptid. It's very complicated. Mostly because I never see them. But
I won't question anymore. I'm sorry. I will not.
That's okay.
Question. Appreciate that. Yeah. Well, the couple, they ran to their car after seeing it, and they gunned it up the road trying to catch another glimpse of it. And as they got to the area they call Hasita Head...
Jesus Christ.
I'm feeling like someone's trolling me on this one. And arrived just in time to get their second look at Claude.
We came just in time. Yeah. I can tell what goes on at this lake.
Oh yeah. Hey, you want to go out?
It's not just the cryptids that are wet. That's all I'm saying.
No, for sure. Well, as Claude finished trolling the waters for some nice and tasty fish, Claude just headed out to sea, and they were like, "Good to see you."
Bye, Claude.
Yeah, there actually wasn't any more sightings of Claude anymore. It's been really sad.
Damn.
Because there's a few things, a few theories on why Claude, or what Claude was, right? So I want to get into two of them. There's a bunch of theories, but two of them that I guess I could say makes the most sense. All right. The first one is that the boring one is that it's just a deformed whale that grew a longer neck than normal. I like to throw that one out as sometimes it seems as a big weather balloon theory as far as UFOs go. It's someone being like, no, it's just a whale. And they say that with all the cryptids that are in the water.
Saw a chupacabra. They told me it was a whale.
Exactly.
Saw the Mothman. Told me it was a whale.
Mm-hmm.
Saw a squonk. A tiny little squonk. Turns
Whale.
out it was a malformed whale.
It was a malformed
I went
whale.
to the inauguration in
It was a
January.
whale. It was a whale.
Nah, I didn't go to that shit. I'm scared of Washington.
Mm-hmm. He's scared of you too. Well, the second one, I'd like to prescribe to more because it seems a lot more fun, right? It says that Colossal Claude is actually a Plesiosaurus, right? A dinosaur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, with the way he acted, he kind of did have that vibe that he was constantly trying to like please everyone. This kind of does make the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but you know what? He never says please.
No, but he had that like pleasant, demeanor about him, like even when like he went to go get the fish, he was just taking him inside because he had dinner ready. He doesn't even eat fish.
Nope.
Homie eats algae, and only the invasive kind. He's the chillest motherfucker. He's the capybara of cryptids. I'm declaring it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm here for it.
Me too. The capybara of cryptids on the Council of Cryptids. The Plesiosaurus.
You need a level head.
You need a level. Yeah. You do need you need somebody that's just like going to be calm in through every drama-filled moment, and especially with the Council of Cryptids. You got Mothman up there causing so much stuff. You got Bigfoot going crazy.
When you can see him.
Yeah.
Honestly, CC, and this is why I love him so much, he is, every group of cryptids need one of them to talk to the cops. Every group needs
and that is Colossal. For sure is Colossal Claude.
I love it. I'm such a huge fan.
Hi.
Hey, I hope you don't mind. I'm just kind of passing through with some of my buddies. They're asleep on my back. We're gonna be out of here in just a moment. I did my best to cover up my tracks on the way out of town. You let me know. I'll give you my home address. I'm not there very often. It's more of a P.O. box, But anyways, do me a favor. I really hate to set you back like this. Here's 50 cents. It's for a stamp. I need you to write and tell me what the damages were, and well, I'm gonna pay you back double. Anyways, I gotta get Mothman out of here, so I'll see you later. Just boom, 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 boom. That's what I picture. It's like do you know how disarming a cryptid encounter would be if they were that chill?
It would be
like every cryptid goes like, your heart stops and you're freaking out, or you're in shock, or you're in fear and you're in fright, and he's just like, but if they acted the same way towards you, but were calm, they were like, oh my lord, I'm so sorry to scare you. Hey, I'm just passing through right now. Oh, damn it, I left footsteps again. Hey, what I'm gonna need you to do, here's 50 cents. I'm gonna give you my P.O. box number. He's just traveling
the whole
around
time.
The whole Honestly, I haven't been able to go to the laundromat in a while. That's the only reason why people see me out at the lakes. I hate to admit it, but hey, it's okay. It's better for this fur. Boom, 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 boom. I'm here for it. I'm here for this mild-mannered man of monstrosity. I don't know.
I like it. You did forget his famous goodbye catchphrase, which was "CC out, stay wet." Connection made. Well,
fuck shit. I'm actually on my way to go meet up with my friend Ronald. Hey there, CC. How you doing, my man? How you doing? Hey, you still down for flying lessons? I think I'll just walk. Hey, fantastic. No big deal.
I think I'll pass.
That makes sense.
Smart move. Colossal Claude is the most reasonable person ever. Knows what's going on. Doesn't care.
I met him when he crashed in the forest.
I
Brought him in
saved
for
him.
some porridge.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to save his pants, so I gave him my P.O. box number and 50 cents, and I said, "You got it."
You mail me the damage, and I'll send you the rest. I'll pay double. Well, the Plesiosaurus, which Colossal Claude was a water-dwelling dinosaur that could, in theory, this is a big theory, survive the extinction level event that killed most of the dinosaurs. And it could have lived in the depths of the oceans for many, many millions of years. Kind of like, I feel like crocodiles and sharks were also dinosaurs. You know, they were similar to dinosaurs and they survived. They evolved a lot, obviously, but this theory prescribes that some dinosaurs could have actually lived. And I want to say the Plesiosaurus idea I love because it's just Colossal Claude's just something different, you know? A cryptid, a dinosaur, a cryptosaur. I don't know. That's the new probably fucking crypto that they're coming out with later, but
the West Coast cryptid chill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Plesiosaurus, what kind of throws water on that actually, it doesn't actually make it work, was the Plesiosaurus actually breathed air. So it didn't breathe water. So if it lived under the water for a long, long time, it would probably die. It would die. It would drown.
Capybaras do the same thing. Just saying.
You're on to
Just
something.
saying. They can hold their breath for a long fucking time. They go down, they eat, and then just chill in hot springs all day. And invade rich people's neighborhoods in Central and South America. And I love that. I love that about them.
I guess they could have traveled up the coast and just grown about 30,000 times their normal.
Ate his way the whole time.
Their normal body. It might have happened. Well, Plesiosaurus
made their way right through New Mexico while there was some testing going on.
Yeah, could be. It could be.
Oh no, your egg ship crashed right on my hut. Oh, it's scratched. Hey,
it's okay.
I need you to just talking to the aliens.
Yeah,
just out of sight from Remy.
Yeah. There's about 50 cents. I know it's a lot of money, but I'm gonna. Here's 50 cents for you. Mail me what the damages were.
Mail me.
Mm-hmm. To the aliens. Well, Plesiosaurus would actually have to be like seals and find places they could plop their big bodies to rest and breathe the air outside instead of being in the depths of the ocean for most of their life. But that also could explain why it was seen by all the ships with its head above the water looking around, honestly. Coming up, getting food, and just looking around, getting air, and then going back down.
Breathing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It could also have been the last of its kind. And here's where I get real sentimental.
Oh.
Because poor Colossal Claude could have been looking for the other last of its kind. It could be looking for whatever it liked, you know, the last big mutated capybara that was coming up from New Mexico. Another.
Looking for a big booty South American capybara. Just making my way.
Hey, it disappeared.
I like them thick and petite, and I'm just kind of working my way down there.
It might have found a good South American one, and we just never saw it again. Living life. And I hope that's how it ended for Colossal Claude, because it hadn't been seen since I think the 1949.
He got down there, found the perfect little, Colombian capybara, and sadly they weren't able to have their own children, but due to the political turmoil at the time that they were kind of settling down, they ended up adopting an orphan named Pablo Escobar.
You know, I knew his family pictures looked funny. The last thing that we have of Colossal Claude is a beer
Aw.
and some
Mm.
pens that are sold on the internet.
I
R.I.P.
love it.
Colossal Claude. I got 50 cents for you. I mean, you're gonna need a little bit more for some stamps there, buddy. Now,
Honestly, I've been afraid to come out because of inflation. And it seems like everywhere I go, I end up owing money, and I can't afford it on this. I tried to learn coding, but I lost right after I graduated. I lost that job prospect to AI. Yep, it's a different world for me.
you should see his
But
CC bills, his
I
credit card
did
bills.
send I did send some money to Microsoft for putting them through the hassle of having to make the AI.
So apologetic, so
God, you're
beautiful,
such a
Colossal Claude.
plesiosaurus.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'd like the Plesiosaurus. Well,
I suspect he came from Canada. It's very strong Canadian vibes. He was working
that
his way
seems like
down
it.
from Canada,
Yeah,
which is where he met Ronald True. But yeah,
that makes sense. The Council of Cryptids, that's going to be a thing.
Right.
It's going to be a thing. Council of Cryptids.
I'm here for it.
We're gonna elect or find out who was elected to the Council of Cryptids.
Yeah, I'm not really super familiar with their procedures or when they meet. But yeah, I'm here for this. I'm here for this Council of Cryptids.
If you know when or where they meet, we would like to get an email from you or a message on Instagram for us. Contact@blackcat.report. We would like to know when the cryptids meet. We're not gonna budge in. We're not gonna go in there and throw our podcasting weight around. We're not gonna go in there and just. I'm not.
I just want to be there to represent my client. That's all I care about.
Gotta be. Someone's got to speak for him, and stop. He's got to stop getting IOUs to everybody, giving IOUs to everybody.
Yeah. Mostly, I just have to make sure he has enough money to pay me. That's all. So
50 cents a minute. Anyways, we're going to get into our last cryptid for today. And we're going to take another little drive. We're going to start driving a bit east to get to the state that is literally almost all national parks. And it is one of my favorite states. Idaho. Because you not Tahoe, Idaho. I am really sorry for saying that. I said that so much in high school. Actually, I won't even say that. I didn't say that in high school. I said that in middle school. You cannot tell me you did not say Idaho, Gil.
a million times. I'm not.
You're not
I'm
judging.
not smirking and laughing. Yeah, I'm not smirking and laughing about the joke being bad. There's no shame in being a hoe. There's no shame in that.
No shame.
I'm laughing about before you finished your breath. You were already defending the joke.
I was already apologizing for the joke. I was already apologizing.
You've been hanging out with Colossal Claude too much, bro.
I just read a lot about him, and I felt like I connected.
Go ahead, check your Venmo.
Oh, damn, 50 cents. Yep, 50 cents. Damn. Okay, cool. Well, for our last cryptid today, we're going with a little closer to our heart. We're going to go, the podcast heart, right? We're going to go with the cat.
Hell yeah.
This cat still lives on as the mascot for the Clark Fork High School in Idaho. This is called the Wampus Cat. The Wampus Cat has origins from the Cherokee in the Southwest and Appalachia region. It is a completely different cat. Okay? I know the one that you're talking. I'm remembering the one you're talking about. We're going to focus on the Idaho Wampus Cat for this road trip because we're in Idaho, so we're going to focus on that part of it. The Idahoan Wampus Cat origins started with the mountain men of the Stanley Basin, which, funny enough, I have actually been to Stanley, Idaho.
Is there a story to it, or do you just...
It smells like piss.
Smells like cat piss from all that wampussy that's running around.
Really, I'm sorry, Stanley, Idahoans. There's not much there. We stopped in at a Walmart because we had to. I forgot what we're doing. We're driving from some venue to another venue, and we're traveling, and we were going to Ketchum, Idaho, or something like that. Sun Valley ski towns. And we stopped, got out of the car. We're like, oh, we got to grab some from Walmart. And the whole entire town smelled like piss. It wasn't just the Walmart parking lot. And I guess there's a lot of farms around there. I don't know.
Some call it the New York of the West.
You know, that's what I heard. That's what people were saying. And I did definitely hear a very big hint of Brooklyn accents in the Walmart of Stanley, Idaho.
I completely believe this.
Mm-hmm. That's also because they want to sound like they're saying Boise, Idaho, and not Boise, Idaho. It's Boise.
I had no idea that you were such an authority on.
People are authorities and told me while
Idaho.
I love Idaho. It's one of my favorite states. But when I was staying there, we had a bunch of friends that told us that it's Boise. Just
board in the room, just a whiteboard, a long
Boise. This is how you say it.
Whoopsh.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. We're gonna need to turn the TV off. I gotta cover something important if you're gonna be here.
Yeah, if you're gonna stay around here for a few days, it's Boise.
We don't want you going out to one of the local watering holes, having one too many drinks and getting wrapped up in the very heated political atmosphere that's just searing under the surface here. Frankly, after running out of wood, it's the only thing keeping us hot over this winter. That is how to pronounce Boise. So if you're going to be here, if you're going to survive on the mean streets of Stanley, Idaho.
Stanley, Idaho. You know?
This town will kick the piss out of you. I know you notice the smell.
There also is a town called Moscow, Idaho, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up north. It's one of the college towns.
Yeah. The only thing you love more than Idaho is the post office.
Is Idaho.
The
bus stop. Yeah, we'll stop.
The post office.
Oh, the post office, dude. They have a lot of cool post offices there. You should go. Take a trip up to the post office. You know what we're gonna do instead of a cryptid road trip next time? We're gonna be doing a post office road trip where we visit the cool post offices and read off their reviews. Don't tempt me with a good time, Gil. It's what I do for fun when I'm not writing episodes.
Part
playing
of
guitar.
Tracking Colossal Claude, we have to find where all these goddamn letters are being sent.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Frank Oldfield, Colossal Claude. Well, during the olden days, a trapper who was trapping beavers and his dog surprised a beaver. And because it was caught pretty far from
there's
water,
a lot of hoes out here. I'm going to find these beavers.
I'm going to find them. The beaver couldn't get back
Come
in
on,
time.
Claude. I told you I'm going to Columbia.
I'm going
it's okay. I know a great deal on a Clio box. Well, you should have said so sooner. I'm sorry, I got upset. Here's 50 cents. Claude, I can't carry any more money now. We're out here for tails.
Ting, 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 ting. God.
We're going to buy a lot of hoes with this money.
Well, Gil, this is actually the origin story of the Wampus Cat, believe it or not. It starts off with the beaver.
Of the Wampussy.
Mm-hmm. And if we know anything about beavers, they can't climb trees.
I guess that fuels their constant rage to knock them down. They don't want anything to be taller than they are.
Yeah, they're like, I cannot climb this. I will cut it down.
Nothing can be taller than me.
Yeah.
Beavers are fucking insane, though.
They are. And that's the reason they couldn't climb the tree to escape the dog. So the beaver turned into a Wampus Cat and climbed the tree.
Turned into a whoop-ass cat and beat the shit out of him.
Beat the shit out of the trapper and the dog. Oh, it's okay. I'm Claude. You don't need
Who's
to worry
the hoe
about it.
now? I don't think you know what that means. Who's the hoe now?
Bitch.
Idaho. We are really getting
Idaho.
tied up on semantics here.
Well, I guess I'm just going to go home. Here's 50 cents. I'm out. Peace.
Just chill out, boys. You just chill out. You just said boys. Nah, that is not how we say it around
That's not
here.
how we say it around here. It's Boise. What am I seeing? What am I seeing? Boise.
you know what, guys? I'm just gonna keep heading on right on over to Washington. I hope you guys work this out. I'll send money for you.
I'll send double what it costs to fix these trees. Stay wet. CC out.
CC.
Well, that is one of the origins of it. Basically, that it couldn't climb a tree, so it turned into a Wampus Cat.
It's just evolved super fucking quick.
Yeah, that's the origin story of the Wampus Cat. There is, however, another origin of the Wampus Cat, and I think I like this one better.
Okay.
It's almost like a superhero, maybe even a supervillain creature origin story. Okay. This one has the Wampus Cat being created by the U.S. government in the 1940s. It was bred with 6 legs, 4 that would allow it to be similar to passenger pigeons of World War I, moving really fast to deliver notes, to deliver the post, deliver 50 cents and a stamp to Colossal Claude, and the two other legs for
due to an unforeseen rising demand in the postal service.
Exactly.
The government had to react.
Yeah, to add 2 more legs to it. The other 2 legs were for fighting. It was a mix of Colossal Claude and Frank Oldfield.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Mm-hmm. It did not just only have the 2 legs for fighting.
6-legged cat, yeah.
Mm-hmm. 6-legged cat, basically. It also had like a mace-like tail that would swing back and forth that would be used for bashing its prey's head in. And because the government testing and creating of an animal, the Wampus Cat has mythologically been described as a massive creature with 6 legs, glowing eyes, and supernatural powers. One of the powers it's purported to have is that its eyes glow so hotly they can start forest fires.
Am I supposed to say something?
No.
Okay.
Especially because
this is rational. It's just kind of like, it was almost like you just delivered some shit to me and like, okay, Gil, so I'm going to explain the physics of acceleration, of achieving critical velocity in gravity. I wouldn't have any punchlines. I'd just listen, and you're dropping truth, you're dropping knowledge.
Would you like me to explain?
That's kind of how I see it. I mean, I kind of already see where this is going. The LA fires started due to a wamperdoodle that somebody brought into the town. A wamperdoodle.
Cat.
It's
Wampus
another
cat.
hybrid.
Oh, okay.
They hybridized it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's got more than that, though. It's got more than that. It is actually
a Tinder.
It
Who the hell do you think made it? Who the hell do you think decided to call it Tinder?
Yeah, they actually stopped that. You can't use Tinder in California anymore. They also cancel.
I was trying to help Claude figure out if there were any hotties down in South America before he walked there for 14 years. Oh, fucker took off before we could invent microchips.
Aww,
I'm
Claude.
so sorry about that. You got my investment though, right? I didn't want to tell you this at the time. I know it's worth a lot now, but it was actually just a gift. That's all yours, brother. Hey, I'm so sorry.
Damn. Always so sorry, Colossal Claude.
So Claude.
Their powers, the Wampus Cat's powers, also include shapeshifting. It can shapeshift into other animals or sometimes even humans. It could also shapeshift into beavers, which apparently is what it started as.
No, my God.
What do they hunt, you ask? Do you ask that?
Joey, what the hell do they hunt?
What do they hunt?
Kindling?
They,
dogs.
They put Tinder down.
They hunt hunters.
They hunt. Actually, in theory, yes. They hunt birds, just kind of like a normal cat, right? But they don't just hunt any birds. They hunt bald eagles, the biggest birds.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's right. The freedom-loving, weapon-toting, national anthem screeching bald eagles.
Hell yeah.
And what's funny is trappers in the old days would say that bald eagles were bad for salmon and deer populations. They thought that the freaking bald eagles would actually screech down and jump and eat deer. I do think Deer are actually too big for eagles, but I don't know.
Probably happened a
Once.
decent amount back then.
Oh, yeah, true.
No. Yeah. Back when things were allowed to grow a little bit bigger.
True.
Out, and there was more. There's more. I don't know. I mean, because like there's a shit ton of accounts of eagles grabbing up like human babies. So I imagine like grabbing fawns, grabbing like does, little baby deers, little bambies.
I mean, bald eagles are already big. Like nowadays, they're big, but they could have been bigger.
Yeah,
they're like 6 foot, 8 foot wingspan. Pretty huge.
I didn't think that. I thought you were going somewhere else with that at first. I thought you were going to say that the hunters started complaining that they were finding bald eagles with gunshot wounds, and it's the Wampus Cat.
Damn, not another Wampus Cat.
Goddamn freedom hating feline.
I mean, what is it? That one cat that one little like one of the tiniest cats is like the most deadly predator. Yeah, is like the deadliest predator in the world because it kills the most birds and the most Ooh.
Yeah. Love kitties.
The Wampus Cat runs into the problem with once they eradicate all the bald eagles, they have an overabundance of Wampus Cats. So that's the problem. They release all these Wampus Cats into the
tale as old as time,
right? And the Wampus Cat, as it still runs today, right? So you introduce the snake to get rid of the rat, then you're like, shit, I got to put in a hawk or a bald eagle to get rid of the snakes, and introduce a Wampus Cat to get rid of the bald eagles, and then you're like, now you're just stuck with a fucking bunch of Wampus Cats. And then what do?
Now you got Wampus Cat and a forest full of animals that aren't maintaining the ecosystem, and then the Wampus Cats start fighting. Shit pops off. There you go.
That's how you get
California
Civil War.
wildfires.
Mm-hmm. That too. Yeah. Both of those things are happening. Well,
yeah. And you did say they came from around this area. We've been having wildfires near here. It is Wampus Cat mating season.
Friction so hot. Eyes so aglow. Now, I want to leave you the Wampus Cat. There's no more on the Wampus Cat. It's very, very small amount of stuff. If we go to the Cherokee, there's a different style of Wampus Cat. But I want to leave you with this quote that I found on a message board, an old message board for the Wampus Cat. And it was most likely for the mascot of the Clark Fork High School football team, Wampus Cat. And I wanted to share this one post because I thought it encapsulated the maybe Colossal Claude a little better, but the Wampus Cat mixed in. You ready?
Okay. Yes.
Really took me, it really gave me inspiration. Okay, this quote. I never smoked a joint so fat until I fired one up with a Clark Fork Wampus Cat. As soon as I read that quote, I was like, my life changed. Wampus Cat changed it.
Yeah. That's like a full armband tattoo.
Time to put down your snacks if you want. Turn off your car. Get a hotel for the next few, maybe weeks or months until our next little cryptid road trip. Because next week, we might be getting into some more. And what happened, that'll be the only for the viewers on the video. So.
Nope. I don't know what's going on. I was here too. You didn't miss anything.
Okay. Well, next week we're going to get into some more. Yes. Next week we are not going to tell you what we're going to get into. I was just kidding on the last few bits of it. We shall see. But thank you all for listening to this episode. And if you have a chance to sign up for our Patreon, it's literally free. You get some fun content like our Midnight Mass show 2 times a month and our Cup of Joey 1 time a month, plus a crap ton of other stuff that comes out in and out pretty quickly, pretty easily. We have a lot of fun doing stuff. And we just throw stuff up there randomly that we enjoy doing. So these are all specifically Patreon content. They're almost all free too, so you'll get to enjoy them for just signing up. And remember, you don't have to pay. can if you want, helps us out. And Gil can promise you will enjoy it.
I promise.
You will enjoy it. And we want to say, here's cheers to our Patreon members so far. We want to thank Tim, Max, Ian, Morgan, Dragon Ball, Miller's Monsters, Marissa, leader of the chicken cult, Rachel, Av, Jaden, Jackie, Lucas, Yellow Bear, Dwayne, Alyssa, Bree, Michael, Paranormal Girl Podcast, James, and always, but last but not least, Copy
Wampus Kitty!
Yeah, Wampus Kitty, Copy Kitty. Thank you so much all
Copy
for
Kitty
listening.
is just the Wampus Kitty of Texas.
That's true. Gil, do you have anything else you would like to add? Do we got any more news? Do we got anything?
Huh? No, my brain is still recovering from Ronald True. Yeah, my brain is off, baby. But I hope y'all's brain is on. Yeah, I got nothing.
Cool. I just want to say this was a little
Vibing.
breath mint, just a little mint in there in between of our like big series that we do. We like to have like a little palate cleanser just to get back into the mood. It's always fun, little cryptid stuff, but we will be getting back into some fun stuff for you guys. So, as always, we love you, and bye.